Okay. Hello, Lisa. So
Hi,
nice to
good
have
morning.
you with us today. It's
You.
June in Australia and it's cold, but what's the weather doing in Egypt?
Sitting here, I think we're heading for 40 degrees today. So grateful for the air conditioning at this this moment. Although
Okay,
it's
so
dry heat, it's different to what I suffer in Queensland. So it's a drier heat here,
yeah, I've
desert
been
heat.
lucky. I've been lucky when I've been in Egypt. It's always been quite good, but I guess we go at good times of year
Yeah,
because you plan that for us.
yeah,
So, Lisa,
yeah,
you've got a
definitely.
business called Pink Lotus Tours, and
Yeah,
you started that a couple of years ago now. But why don't you just tell us a
yeah.
little bit about that and how you ended up in Egypt?
In Egypt. Life takes you on a little journey, but I had businesses on the Gold Coast, retail, cafes. I had a spiritual shop. I had different other businesses over the years. And then as life happens, divorce and all of that, I started traveling. And through most of my adult life, hadn't had a chance to travel really. And I got the bug, and I did a very big trip through Europe and ended up in Egypt. And the only way I can explain it is I felt like I could breathe. I got here and I just felt like this is my home, and I still had the businesses running. So I came back to Australia, and really all I could think about was how do I get back there. And I did another trip and I just wanted to share it with other people, but I wanted to do it differently. I didn't like the quick, stop and start trips. So I wanted to design my own tours. So I asked the question, how do I do this and come back and see it in a way that I want to do it on my timetable, on my schedule. And my other businesses were called Pink Lotus. So I had the Pink Lotus Cafe and the Pink Lotus Giftware store, and the Lotus was symbolic to me. If you understand the growth of a lotus, it comes out of the mud, and it blossoms. So the lotus was a symbol for me. So it became Pink Lotus Tours.
Yeah.
And
Oh, beautiful.
and here we are, a few years down the track with an office near the pyramids. It's crazy life.
So, what was that transition like between going to Egypt as a tourist and then planting those seeds? And I think lots of people will be able to relate to your feeling of travel and how it expanded your horizons and expanded your heart, and that you just couldn't wait. You couldn't stop thinking about it, and you couldn't wait to get back there. Having said that, most people don't bloody move to Egypt and set up a travel business. So, was that a nightmare? Was it easy? Well, and keeping in mind, we all know that we're dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, so we know it is a nightmare at the moment. But prior to that, setting that up, only a brave or crazy woman would do that. Which one are you?
Yeah. I'll go for brave or slightly crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I've always had my own businesses, so I think there's been a little element of fearlessness and when somebody tells me I can't do something, I tend to dig my heels in a little bit and try to prove them wrong. And I was also lucky to be in a position where my children were older and I had the freedom, and they were greatly supportive. They're like, Mum, you've raised us, we're fine, go do what you want to do. And I felt like if I didn't give it a go, I'd regret it. And so I came backwards and forwards twice a year for a couple of years, and I'd stay for a length of time between, I organised a couple of tours that joined together. And and I still did travel to other countries. I've done lots of vibrant women trips. I think I've had more holidays with you, Tammy, than a lot of my family. So, but I always come back to Egypt. And so living here, I have fallen into it quite easily. I love it. I live very local. I walk everywhere. I can sit and look at the pyramids all day, every day, if that's what I want to do, off my balcony. It's very affordable to live here. The food is very, very fresh and cheap and easily accessible. And I mean, the one thing that I don't think I could have done it without, I have a couple of, I guess now business partners here, and I trust them, you know, and working in a foreign country can be very risky, and I've heard lots and lots of stories, which is scary, where people it hasn't worked out for, but I work with two Egyptians that I trust with my life, and they take care of me and they look out for me and they treat me like a sister, and they've helped me get accommodation, and if I need anything that I can't find or I can't translate, or they're very supportive. So I think you've got to come to a foreign country, you've really got to have somebody you can work with that you can trust, because to do it on your own, you could be taken advantage of very, very financially, you know.
Yeah, sure.
But they do look out for me. So I think that would be one thing I would consider, is make sure that you're working with the right people, and before you commit to anything, make sure that you've got a really really good trust set, you know, in place. So they've helped and supported me, and the internet's amazing. I talk to my kids and I video chat, and I keep those relationships going back in Australia. You know, and I've been here since September, so it's June now.
I know. So I can also vouch for your business partners, because I adore them as well, and they very sweetly have been sending me messages too via Facebook over this difficult time, checking in that I'm okay.
Yes.
So Mohammed is our beautiful organizer.
Yes, he's going to be
ground.
Yeah, we're having a little baby in a week. Very excited.
That is very exciting.
I'm not. Him and his wife are. So, but I'm Auntie Leisa, so I'm very excited about that.
Number 3.
Number 3, yes.
Oh, they can finish after that. Tell him that's it.
That's it.
Finish now.
That's it. That's it. No more.
He's got the most beautiful face too, and such perfect English, you know, and he's very well educated, as is Haytham. But something that women love when they arrive to Egypt is that they don't even get their bags, and already he's waiting for you to help you get your visa, and he fast tracks you through the line. And so we just love the service that you guys provide to us and my guests. And also Haytham, who is our tour guide most of the time, and sometimes we might have other people too. But, you know, of course, he has his degree in Egyptology and he's fascinating. But because I've had a few different tour guides, I also know that he picks out, it's an information overload when you go to Egypt, because there's so much history. And I remember one day, I think we were, I can't remember where we were, but maybe at Hatshepsut's temple.
Hatshepsut, yeah.
And I said, it was hot and a long day, and anyway, near the Valley of the Kings, you know what that's like, lots of walking. And I said, so who was she married to or something? And he had his hat on, he was through. Oh, Tammy, I've told you so many times. Pretty much, I know they're all married to their brother or their cousin or their sister or something. But he's so funny, but he's so passionate about everything. But now that I can compare him to other people, I also know that he just picks out the best bits. You know, like when you're in that Cairo museum, you could spend a week easily there. It's so much stuff. So on that, you should be able to just about see the new Grand Museum from where you live. But
so just around the corner, actually. Yeah, just around the corner.
So what is it looking like? Because that's something the girls that are booked in for 2021 keep saying, is it going to be done? Will we get to go?
Look, I can't we've been questioning that, and it is, I've had so many people waiting to come back for that like they'll come back to Egypt when it's open. It was scheduled for this October, but because of, you know, this craziness, but honestly, they are still working very hard. The roads around the area are being, like, even out the front of my place now, they're building new roads, which will, I'm just down the road from the new entrance they're going to be a new entrance to the pyramids. But the museum, I imagine, will be even further advanced, because from what I understand, the plan was to open this October with as much as they could, but there were still things that they were working on. Yeah. So we're given another 12 months, because they're working, I think, in very sterile environment with the restoration and all of that, you know, very careful, meticulous work to restore all the pieces. Because some of the pieces have been in the basement of the normal museum and never even been on display. So when people get to the new museum, they're going to see Tutankhamun's collection in its absolute entirety, which no one has ever seen before. So, and they're working on that, they're restoring it, because obviously some of the pieces are fragile. And this is giving them more time to get more pieces ready, from what I can see. So, you know, it might actually work out to people's advantage to have to wait that bit of extra time, because there'll be more to see. The building is amazing. It's architecturally amazing. The positioning of it, they got this beautiful big glass facade, which when you stand inside the museum, you will view straight up to the Great Pyramid. Like, it's just magnificent position.
Well, don't
around the
talk
corner
it up
from my house.
Don't talk it up too much, because I keep getting messages from girls who are booked in for next year asking, can we fit it into our schedule? We're going to have to. I'm not quite sure if it will be a Cairo Museum.
Yeah, look, we definitely would want to offer that, but you've got lots packed into your itinerary, so it might be a very quick stop visit, but look, it just gives them a reason to come back. That's
and some people, you know, for that tour, we actually ask people to arrive a day early. And it's very close to where we're staying at Le Méridien at the Giza, so I'm sure we can,
look,
organise something.
Almost in walking distance from where you're staying, literally. Like, and I still don't know the road configuration, and but hopefully there'll be an overbridge and we can, you know, you can walk. Which would
be so great
if they come a day early. But they're doing so much work around all the sites, just more pathways. You know, sometimes you're walking on ancient stones, but in some areas they're putting in, so it's making it more accessible for people that maybe can't walk as well as others. They're doing a lot of work here. The infrastructure, since I've been coming here over the last 2014, so the last 6 years almost, I've noticed even the difference in the facilities and the, you know, just what the tourism authorities are providing for people to encourage tourism to come back now. I mean, we were at our peak. It was
I know.
So you know, you get to the sites and they'd be crowded and you think, oh no. But it was so good for tourism, because when I first started coming here, you know, you'd go to a site, there'd be a dozen people, and it was luxury because you had the freedom, but it was just at its peak. And with all the tour companies had bought brand new buses. We were sitting in buses in March that still had plastic on the seats, so that was so new. And then just stop, you know, just absolutely stop. It's been difficult because there's so much of Egypt relies on the tourism industry. But there's so much to see here, and I can't wait for you to be able to come back, because
so I know it's hard for you, this is a difficult question, but is there a favourite site for you in Egypt? Or it might change, but if you had to pick one thing, do you think you could?
Look, I think I'm pretty blessed. You know, girl from the Gold Coast, grew up in Newcastle, And now I sit and face the pyramids with my cup of tea every day, or coffee. Like phenomenal, crazy, like, and I could just sit at the pyramids for hours. It gives me an energy that I can't explain. But I get on the plane and I fly to Aswan, and I get off that plane and I see the Nile, and I go to Philae Temple, and I just feel like I'm in another place. Like I still love it. I've done Abu Simbel 15 times, I think now. I think I've done 15 Nile cruises. Who can say, you know, I like, as a kid in Newcastle, I could never have even dreamed of doing this. But Philae is very special to me. I can spend hours wandering around, which is the temple dedicated to Isis. But it's on an island, and it's the Nile. And so I would say in Cairo, most definitely being able to sit at the pyramids is an energy that you can't really explain. Or going inside the pyramids. But as I go down south, I think I'd have to say Aswan would be my favourite city in Egypt. It's very basic. There's still the donkeys, you know, carrying the vegetables in the streets, and the air is clear, the sky is clear. But again, there's a place out in the desert on the way to Libya called Siwa. There's an oasis there, and they have the salt mineral springs, you know, the healing waters, and the desert of Siwa, which they have some eco villages out there, which are amazing, and the sky out there, you know, at night time, phenomenal. You know, there's so much diversity in Egypt. There's beaches, there's desert, there's river, there's cities, there's old, there's new, there's history, there's
the thing is, it's not like
so
anywhere
much.
else in the world. There's nothing to
No,
compare
and the people
to. And
the people honestly couldn't do more for you. The people that I have met and that I've been associated with, and every site, every hotel, they just, you know, they just couldn't do anything more for you. They're friendly and happy. They've got nothing, you know. The poverty here is huge, but they smile. The kids have got these big smiley faces, and they appreciate the basic things. And I think that's what I love about it. I'm not a glitzy glamour person. I'd rather help 100 people than help one person in a big way. So coming over here and you know, just seeing that, I'm not interested in flashy things and handbags. That's not my scene, you know. I like the way they appreciate the small things here. It doesn't take much to, you know, put a smile on their face, and, you know, I enjoy that this stage of my life, you know.
Well, we certainly love how much you love Egypt, because it makes our tours very special, because you put together fantastic packages for us, because you've got all sorts of insider information and other little things like, you know, the perfume shops and the spiritual aspects of things that tours for women that we really enjoy. So, thanks.
Yeah, I think being a traveller as well, like I still enjoy going to other countries and learning about their cultures and travelling as a traveller. So I try and bring back to the experiences, not from a corporate point of view or a, you know, a systematic. I like it to be personal. I like to say, well, can we do this? Because it's not what everyone else does.
Yeah.
You know, we try and find the little parts of the temples that the main companies don't go to, or that are lesser seen than others maybe, or so. Yeah, we've even now, and I'm sure we'll do it for you, is incorporated a home. We actually go to an Egyptian home and we sit in their lounge and eat their food and play with their kids, and it's just become a highlight, because they explain their culture, their marriage traditions, their relationships. You know, you see how they live, and that's something we've been able to do because we can build a personal relationship with the family, and we know their hygiene, and they use bottled water and all that sort of stuff. You know, we don't have, you know, to worry about those things because we, you know, we try and incorporate the tours as how we would want to travel.
And I have to say, your attention to detail is amazing. There's, I don't have to worry. Everything's taken care of from woe to go. And of course, things do happen along the way because things just do. But it's always managed. Visiting the family sounds lovely. I think we've got 20 women booked in on the next one, so they might not want quite that many people around for lunch, but we'll see.
We can do that. We did that in March. Last year I think we did one with 20. So, and it was amazing, and everyone talked about it for days. So it's those things that you can't really plan on, and we slip them in, and then you're like, wow, that was my favourite thing. The food was amazing. So home cooked food, you can't beat it.
Oh, exactly. And I do.
Egyptian women are amazing cooks.
I love the Egyptian food. Of course, the falafel, but the koshery.
Kosher, yeah, big carb fest, that one, yes.
Yeah, I know, but it's vegetarian. So it's for me, it's a sort of a mixture of Mexican and Italian or something. It's like pasta with a Mexican spin or something. It's nice.
It's a street food here. It's very affordable and filling and tasty. Lots of spices and the tomato sauce and the pasta and the crispy fried onions, I think, on top. So it's a popular one. You got to have that when you come at least once.
Yeah, I love it.
Falafel's the best.
Yeah, that's good too. That fresh tomato and onion and everything. I remember we stopped. We said we were hungry one day, and Hayden just like pulls up on the side of the road and starts throwing all these falafels in the window. And then he goes across the road, gets us a banana each. Then he goes there, bottle of water each. It took 5 minutes, you know, to feed 13 people in 5. We're all just sitting on the bus, very happy, on our way to Coptic Cairo or somewhere. So thank you very much for chatting with us today, Leisa. I think next year, I think will be 4 years maybe, that we can't really count this year, but 4 years that we've sort of been working together.
I know, it's the time is, I think we first started planning back in 2016. We first, we first met. Yeah.
And also 2022, next year, 2021, we're doing a little Jordan extension, and then hopefully 2022 we'll do some different parts of Egypt with Jordan as well. So we've got more work to do together. I love working with you guys. You're so professional, you're so caring, and you put together such beautiful packages for us. Women just want to come back again and again, and you know, to the same place. So that says something amazing, because so many places in the world you wouldn't really always want to do that, but people just fall in love with Egypt, and it's partly because of all the hard work you do and the very good care you take of us. So I wish you all the best. Stay safe in Egypt, and
I'm very happy.
I'm not going to see you now for a year.
Well, people are starting to get interested in planning and having something to look forward to. So it's, you know, it's starting to get back in contact with people now. It was a bit of a quiet time for a couple of months, but can't wait for everyone to come back and we can start sharing what we love again, you know.
Yeah. Well, all the best.
It's nice to do it. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for your support too. You've always got awesome women with you.
Yeah, I know, we have a great time, and love to everyone there, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah, I know.
All right, take care. Ciao.
Bye-bye. Bye.